February 16th, 1944. Truk Lagoon. To the Japanese Navy, this place is holy ground. It is the Gibraltar of the Pacific. A massive fortress lagoon surrounded by coral reefs, protected by anti-aircraft guns, and filled with the pride of the Imperial fleet. It is considered untouchable. The sailors here feel safe. They are watching movies on the decks of their ships. They are writing letters home. They believe the war is thousands of miles away. But they are wrong. Just over the horizon, an armada is approaching. 9 American aircraft carriers, 6 battleships, 500 aircraft. They are coming to do one thing: payback. In the next 48 hours, this peaceful lagoon will be turned into the largest ship graveyard in the world. 50 warships and merchant vessels will be sent to the bottom. 275 aircraft will be destroyed. 4,500 men will vanish. And the Americans? They won't lose a single ship. This is the story of Operation Hailstone, the raid that broke the back of the Japanese Navy and turned a tropical paradise into a ghost fleet. February 16th, 1944. Truk Lagoon. To understand the scale of this attack, you have to understand what America had built. After Pearl Harbor, the U.S. Navy didn't just rebuild, it evolved. It built a machine called Task Force 58. It was a floating city of destruction. The new Essex-class carriers were faster, bigger, and carried more planes than anything Japan had. And they operated with a terrifying rhythm. Launch, strike, recover, refuel, launch again. It was a factory of war that never closed. On the night of February 16th, this machine parked itself 90 miles off the coast of Truk. Inside the lagoon, the Japanese radar operators saw nothing. The American fleet was operating in total silence. Dawn. February 17th. The Japanese sailors are waking up. The morning coffee is brewing. Then, a low rumble begins. It sounds like thunder, but the sky is clear. The rumble gets louder and louder. Suddenly, 72 F-6F Hellcat fighters burst out of the sun. They are flying at treetop level, their engines screaming. The Japanese pilots scramble to their planes, but before they can even turn the props, the Hellcats are on them. American fighters strafe the runways, turning the airfields into lanes of fire. In the air, it's a slaughter. The few Japanese Zeros that manage to take off are swarmed. The American pilots are veterans. The Japanese pilots are rookies. In less than 2 hours, the Japanese Air Force at Truk ceases to exist. 50 planes are shot down or destroyed on the ground. The Americans own the sky. And now, the real destruction begins. With the fighters clearing the way, the bombers arrive. Waves of Dauntless dive bombers and Avenger torpedo planes roll over the lagoon. Below them, dozens of Japanese ships are sitting ducks. They are trapped inside the coral reef. They have nowhere to run. It is a turkey shoot. The Rio de Janeiro Maru, a massive transport ship, takes a 1,000-pound bomb through the deck. It rolls over and sinks in minutes. The Ikoku Maru, an armed merchant cruiser, is hit by a bomb that finds its ammunition magazine. The explosion is so violent that it vaporizes the ship instantly. The mushroom cloud rises thousands of feet into the air, engulfing the American plane that dropped the bomb. Everywhere you look, ships are burning. Tankers explode, turning the blue water black with oil. Destroyers break in half. One American pilot looks down and says, "The whole lagoon is boiling." But not every Japanese ship is sitting still. A small group of warships, the cruiser Katori and 2 destroyers, manage to slip out of the lagoon. They make a run for the open ocean. They think they have escaped the trap. They are wrong. Waiting for them outside the reef are the battleships USS Iowa and USS New Jersey. For the first time in history, the massive 16-inch guns of an Iowa-class battleship are fired at an enemy ship. The shells weigh as much as a Volkswagen. They roar through the air like freight trains. The Japanese cruiser Katori fights back bravely, firing torpedoes. But it is hopeless. The American shells tear the cruiser apart. It sinks in minutes, taking its crew with it. The destroyers follow soon after. There is no escape from Truk. As night falls, the lagoon is a scene from hell. The water is on fire. Burning oil slicks drift across the harbor, illuminating the sinking wrecks. But the Americans don't stop. This is the new way of war. Task Force 58 is equipped with radar-equipped night fighters and bombers. While the Japanese sailors try to save their drowning comrades, the second wave arrives. Through the darkness, American planes hunt down the survivors. They bomb the airfields again. They torpedo the ships that are still limping. The attacks continue for 2 full days. Wave after wave. Relentless. Merciless. By the time the American fleet finally turns for home on February 18th, Truk Lagoon is silent. The toll is staggering. 50 ships sunk. 275 aircraft destroyed. 4,500 men dead. The Gibraltar of the Pacific has been erased. The Japanese High Command is in shock. They realize that the Americans can now strike anywhere, anytime, with overwhelming force. They withdraw their remaining fleet from the Central Pacific. They know they have lost the ocean. But the legacy of Truk Lagoon isn't just a military victory, it is a time capsule. Today, Truk Lagoon is the most famous wreck diving site in the world. The ships are still there. They sit upright on the ocean floor, preserved by the coral. You can swim through the cargo holds and see trucks, tanks, and boxes of ammunition stacked exactly where they were in 1944. You can see the personal items of the sailors: sake bottles, shoes, gas masks. In the operating room of the Shinkoku Maru, the medical instruments are still laid out on the table, waiting for a surgery that was interrupted by a bomb. It is a ghost fleet, a silent underwater city of the dead. Operation Hailstone proved that the age of the fortress was over. No base was safe from air power. It was the revenge for Pearl Harbor, delivered with cold, industrial precision. The Japanese thought their lagoon was invincible, but in 48 hours, the US Navy turned their sanctuary into their tomb.